Okay, I've got a question. What do a family cafe, a sentimental snow globe, and a barbecue food truck have in common?
Well, somehow, believe it or not, they are all key plot points in the Hallmark Channel 2020 movie Christmas by Starlight. And we've got a lot to talk about, Josh.
We do, Jennifer. We'll unwrap it all for you on this episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
If you can believe it, we are wrapping up our Christmas in July series already. This month absolutely zipped by. We've had a blast recapping some fan favorites all month long, and we're back with this deep-ish cut, I guess you could say, from the Hallmark catalog because we're going all the way back to 2020 for this one, Jennifer.
That's right. It seems like only yesterday, but here we are almost 5 years ago. That's crazy because I watched this one when it came out. And spoiler alert, I watch it every year.
There you have it. Give us the plot summary.
I would love to. When her family's beloved eatery, the Starlight Cafe, is slated for demolition, Annie vows to put a stop to it before Christmas. Let's go.
So this thing starts, and we are in the windy city of Chicago. Our female lead is a woman named Annie, played by none other than podcast favorite Kimberly Sustad. We are not worthy. We're not worthy. She plays a family law attorney, and she's delivering some great adoption news to a sweet couple. So out of the gate, I am 1000% here for this character, wherever she takes us in the next 2 hours. She had me at go. What about you?
Samesies, and we are an adoptive family. And I wish Annie was on my case because maybe things would go smoother. Let's just say that.
Yikes. Yikes.
I wonder if she's still working and available. I'm not above paying a retainer.
Is she still out
And
there?
Kimberly Sustad, we trust.
Exactly. Back at home, Annie is all in her Christmas feel. She's dancing with her dog, blind to the fact that her parents just happened to barge in to say hello. Are we neighbors? Is that what's happening here? Does she live downstairs and her parents live upstairs? Is that the situation?
Well, I wondered if she lived above the cafe. Is that
Anywho,
kind of a thing?
there's a close proximity thing happening because she's just able to pop in to her parents' place anytime, and she does throughout this thing. I loved it. Anyway. Next morning, we are at this Starlight Cafe, the big centerpiece of all of this, her folks' cafe, and Annie learns that the landlord is terminating the lease to tear it down. So, BBD, big bad developer on the horizon here, and Annie is big mad about it. She's a woman on a mission, but first, she needs to put on something other than pajama pants because she's a casual gal and she loves a pajama pant. Annie goes over, mad, big mad. And so she stomps, quite literally, stomps over to this place called Holt Enterprises to give them a piece of her mind. Now, our male lead, Will, and if he looks familiar to you, it's because Will is Paul Campbell, another Hallmark hero, if you will, one of our favorites here. He is stumbling, however, as the leader of this company that his dad wants him to be. And dad is hiring a general counsel, so an attorney, to basically babysit him, keep him in line. And he is not having it, and he wants to bolt. First, he says he wants to bolt for coffee, and maybe he wants to bolt for the Bahamas. I would bolt for the Bahamas any day of the week. We get that Will is from Means. Is that a safe bet here?
For sure. I mean, Dad owns the company, right? Or
Yeah.
is big wig up in the company. Yeah.
Big wig. Yes, exactly. Annie chases him down, quite literally, and the two have immediate brother-sister energy for me. It's very oil and water, lots of chemistry, but it works, and Will hires Annie to be his babysitter slash general counsel. Now, she shows up for work and out of the gate has to help him navigate a bit of a business hiccup here. His company has built a parking garage on a centuries-old bonsai tree, and Annie's fix for all of this? A charity function and a matching donation from Holt Enterprises. Will rolls his eyes. His dad is impressed. Annie has a lot of work ahead of her. And of course, now we have a big event to look forward to in this movie. What are you thinking about 10 minutes into this? Are you buying it? Are you feeling it, Jennifer?
We're checking off trope boxes left and right. We've covered, I think last year we did an episode covering our top Hallmark tropes. Not that it's a bad thing, but there are some themes that reoccur from time to time. The big beauty, like you said, the big bad developers one, and a Christmas event is another. Always a real estate deal happening right around the holidays is huge. So we got it all going on.
Yeah, we're
So I'm
checking
there for it.
boxes
So
here.
because I love Kimberly Sustad and Paul Campbell, so really I can look past a lot of cliches, let's be real. Is that fair? No. I'm a
Yeah.
biased journalist sometimes.
Well, it happens, you know? These are our opinions and we're entitled to them. So let's go. Yeah. Back at home, Dad is building a Walmart of a gingerbread house. The thing is enormous, and I'm pretty impressed because gingerbread is not easy, and he is apparently a pro. And Annie is uber distracted by all of the things that are happening. Her folks inspire her to dig in her heels and get to work, and we are off to the races. Now, first stop here on this big charity event that they have to figure out. Will and Annie go to buy a gigantic Christmas tree. Unsurprisingly, Will doesn't have a lot of warm memories around Christmas. Annie does, and gets him to basically stop and smell the roses. Or I guess the pine would be a more accurate
Mm.
way of putting that. Yeah. Then they're off to go do some work, but Annie gets distracted by a cute little dog boutique that happens to be having a going out of business sale, and Will and Annie soon bond a little bit over her love of Charles Dickens. She also gets a little bit ballsy here and calls him on the decline of small business in the Chicagoland before they bounce to a business lunch where Annie connects with the big hot shot way better than Will does. She helps him out. He bounces for drinks and leaves her with a laundry list of items ahead of the big fundraiser. So basically, she's working alongside of him. They go to this fancy French restaurant. I thought this scene was really funny because she doesn't understand anything on the menu. And the guy that they're having lunch with, who this big hot shot, is basically like, yeah, me neither. And so it just sort of,
Yeah.
I think, poked fun at the whole thing, which is, I love it when we're in on the joke too, in that kind of a moment. And I thought that they really did that well. What'd you think?
I liked it because it is like corporate America. You got to go to these, five-star restaurants, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the day, half of those people would probably just rather go get burger and fries. Like, let's be real. But nobody wants to say that. And just like have these people don't probably want to make deals on the golf course, but
Mm-mm.
you do the thing, kind of status quo, and yeah, keeping up with the Joneses and all that. So I liked that. I was a little like, I was afraid the first time I watched this that the big businessman was gonna, like, make a pass at Annie because that can happen, but then I remembered this is Hallmarks, of course not. They were just talking about dogs. It was so innocent and sweet. Yeah, and Will was big jealous, you could tell. He was just kind of, like, not understanding how they were connecting, like, he was unable to match the banter that they were having, and so he didn't know what to do, so he just sat there eating his pretentious French food.
I think it was he was jealous, and I think he was also weirdly intrigued, like, who is this woman that this is the way she operates, and it works so well. And I kinda like that element that's playing out here.
I do wonder, does Annie not have other clients this time of year that she could
Usually
be working
not.
on their cases? No?
Apparently.
She's already
It's real slow, wrapped for the year. Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
we get a ribbon cutting, and then Annie and Will stroll a legendary toy story near and dear to her heart because it's where her folks took her when they adopted her. And we learn that she is adopted. Now, ugh, it's a snow globe we saw her playing with early on in this movie. Love a callback, right? Because the scene when she's dancing with the dog, she plays with this snow globe. And then 25 minutes later, we learn that the snow globe was what she got as the first present when she was adopted. Loved that moment.
which is a beautiful thing, but let's be real. I mean, how old was she when she was adopted? Do we know?
Or
4? Okay, you're more observant than I am. Would a 4-year-old pick a snow globe over, like, a giant squishmallow or something?
never. You know what a 4-year-old's
I mean,
gonna pick? A 4-year-old's gonna pick that kind of thing. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, I have a gigantic teddy bear sitting on the sofa behind me. That's what a 4-year-old would pick.
Or like the big F.A.O. Schwartz giraffe kind of business
Yes.
or any of that. Yeah. I love it for, like you said, the callback and this, "Oh, this is my snow globe, blah, 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 blah," and it's something she can still have in her if present day Annie had the Gigantor life-size stuffed teddy bear, it'd be a little creepy probably, right? Like, a snow globe is an easier
Are you saying this is creepy?
addition.
Just so we're clear.
I mean, I think it's worth noting that you have children because otherwise, for a new viewer, just seeing this giant bear peeking over your shoulder like an angel ready to whisper sweet nothings in your ear to some, could to some be a little
Be a
creepy.
little off. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Will is starting to soften to the whole thing a little bit. They go for barbecue. They swap unfortunate but cute pics from their youth, and things get mildly flirty between the two of them. I loved this scene when they went to go get barbecue because this was very much her in her element and him starting to see that her element was actually really cool and really fun. And I felt like they really had good connection here. Now, Annie is pretty stressed about the details of the fundraiser, but Lyle, who is Will's assistant, is there to help. So is Lyle's husband, who swoops in with a caterer recommendation. So things are starting to look up for our girl Annie. So big yay. We're excited here. Now they're off to a Christmas party. This is a Christmas party that's hosted by the guy who was at the French restaurant, the big wig, the business guy, blah, blah, blah. So she's wearing an
Yeah, because
ugly.
they weren't invited until
No,
he
yeah.
invited her, and she was like, "Can Will come too at the lunch?" Otherwise, Will wasn't getting invited to this. But he was like, "You gotta meet my wife. You gotta see my dog." Blah blah blah. Yeah.
It was very cute. So they're off to this party. It's a huge hit, her ugly Christmas sweater. Now, the couple hosting the party feels super charitable, and they wind up inviting everyone in the room to Annie's big fundraiser. Now, the only problem here is that the Starlight only holds 95 people, and it's already full. So, whoa, Annie is anxious. And she spits some truth about Will's privilege to him in the stress of it all. Now,
Mhm.
Will shows up to her house the next day and weasels himself into breakfast with her and her folks. Now, this scene is really, really funny for me. So well scripted here. He says what she said to him last night did ring kind of true, and now he wants to help her. But I gotta think, it would be a little bit awkward if your boss for what, 72 hours suddenly showed up to your house and demanded to have breakfast with you and your folks who just happened to live upstairs nearby. Little awkward, maybe.
It would be awkward in a normal world, but A, they're both attractive, and B, it's Hallmark. So C, we gotta
Suspend
get this
reality.
relationship. Yeah, we gotta get this relationship on the road. Yeah, we got like an hour 24, I think, of film time to get this thing going.
Yeah. So they're off to the Starlight, and the space problem is very much immediately solved. So this was a huge problem that just gets kind of yada yadaed away a little bit because it turns out that there's an old bookstore next door to the Starlight Cafe. So all they have to literally do is just take a padlock off a sliding door and open up all the space that they need. Why this was a plot point was a little weird for me. Now, Jennifer
I have a question.
raising her hand has a question. Let's go to Jennifer for the hard-hitting question. Go.
So, okay, you're using the bookstore next door. Is there air conditioning at the bookstore next door? Or heat and air, HVAC?
Mm,
Probably not if it's a
mhm.
vacant suite. Um, it wasn't that dirty. It was just kind of a couple shelves with some like my garage currently looks dirtier than this abandoned bookstore because I have a bunch of boxes that we need to take to recycling and things like that. That could be addressed within an hour. This whole thing was addressed very swiftly, like you said. Was it, do we have critter control over there? Do we have a fire marshal involved to tell them, okay, you're adding this much square feet so you can have this many people as an occupancy classification in an assembly space where people are standing?
It's like, when will we learn licensing is never an issue in a Hallmark movie? It's just like, we're gonna do this big event here. Fire
It's for
codes.
charity.
Yeah,
Well, people still got to be able to get out if one of those trees catches on fire, okay? These are things I think about,
this is true.
but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
I'll let it slide.
Anyway, the whole thing was very easy breezy. They stopped by her house to feed Charles, her dog, again named after Charles Dickens, which I love. Will notices the
Mhm.
snow globe. Again, we see the snow globe. And Annie says that the key that makes the girl inside dance is missing. This is a tender moment, so tender, in fact, that my cry count here, Jennifer,
Oh. Oh.
goes to 0.5. Not fully all the way cry, but 0.5.
So is it like that welling, like when you're
Yes,
it's
it's
like a
kinda like
burn? Because I get the burn first, like,
it's like
it's
this
pretty
inner, like right here. It's like this inner, like, something's happening.
well, that might be some heart palpitations you need the doctor for. Why why are you holding your chest doing that? That cries come from your face.
I feel it. I feel it so deep down. No.
You like the Grinch and your heart is growing 3 sizes
I don't
before
know.
it comes out of your face?
Ask my therapist.
You ask a primary care physician or the cardiologist. I'm worried now, oh my goodness.
Stay tuned.
So it is a .5 cry, so no tears shed yet, just
Just
like
yet.
they're all internal, okay.
Just yet. Stand by.
We haven't had a Josh's cry count in a while, so it's time.
It's time. Yeah. Back at the Starlight, it's a Christmas concert. We get this beautiful rendition of Silent Night sung by the daughter of one of the longtime waitresses there, which I thought was really a great scene. The next night, oh, by the way, at the end of that song, Kimberly and Paul have this longing glare at each other for like a solid 10 seconds. Like it was very intimate eye contact before a commercial break.
Mhm. Which I would have loved was it not to Silent Night. I don't I love the eye contact, I love Silent Night. I don't like when they're intertwined. It just feels icky.
It's a little weird. Yeah, it's like a slow dance to
Steryl's being like a foreplay kinda
yeah,
situation.
it's like a slow dance to "Oh Holy Night," which we also get in this one a little bit later. And I understand the quandary. It's difficult. I mean, you need something Christmassy, but it also has to maybe lend itself to a moment of romance. I don't know. It's a tough bridge to cross.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're not the only ones to do it. This happens a lot, and I never enjoy it, but, it's also, I'm sure, royalty-free songs at this point too.
Easy breezy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day is a work day, loads of cleaning, a last minute catering swap to the Jolly Barbecue food truck guy. Didn't see that coming. And Will invites Annie on a date. Now, it turns out, of course, he owns an ice skating rink, which is decorated to the literal nines. And you know how I feel, Jennifer, when we get these ice skating scenes and they have all of this extra Christmas crap strung out all over the ice skating rink. It's just like a broken ankle waiting to happen. Like, anyway, they skate
I
around
know
at
you've ranted about this before. This is not the first time Hallmark's
yep.
done it. It won't be the last, I hate to tell you, and, we've heard this rendition of Josh's rant before. It's worth noting.
They skate around.
Obstacles on the ice, please.
Please. It just makes me anxious. Like, I keep waiting for one of them to, hurl themselves into a Christmas tree or trip on some tinsel. And I don't want that for these people. I like
That
them at
makes
this
your
point.
heart palpitate as well, or instead of
Be it.
chamber.
It's not really emotion so much as it is anxiety.
Said, we need, like, an outline of you and highlighting what part of your body is like
Where I'm
Sorory
feeling it.
during the like the operation guy. Just
Uh, anyway, again, unpack that with my therapist. Maybe we'll have him on someday as a guest just to sort of explain Josh's cry count.
do you think he's a listener? Has he subscribed?
I will ask. Probably not. Yet.
Mm,
Yet.
them's the breaks, yeah.
Anyway, they decide to go back after their ice skating jaunt to the cafe, and he makes her grilled cheese sandwiches at the Starlight tender. Will has a heart-to-heart with his dad about the Starlight because the whole deal was that if Annie comes on and does a week of work sort of being his babysitter at the office, he will in turn save the cafe. So this was kind of a win-win for both of them. He gets what he needs, she gets what she needs, blah, blah, blah. But Will kind of has this problem. He's got to figure out how to get his dad to reverse course on this whole plan for the Starlight. So he's off to have this conversation with his dad. This conversation with dad does not go well at all. Dad feels like he is the same old, over-promising, under-delivering, doesn't have his eye on the ball. Dad's kind of curmudgeon-y a little bit about the whole thing. It's icky. Didn't like it. Yeah. Will is off to the Starlight to lay it all out to Annie, but she has other plans, namely to let Will decorate his first Christmas tree. Will has some big problems to solve here and seems super distracted, but he still gets to work and does the tree with her. Anyway, now it's time for the gala. Will and Annie show up. Will's wearing a tux. Annie's wearing this red gown. Kimberly Sustad has never looked better in a Hallmark movie, in my opinion. Like, this was 10 out of 10, perfection. The dress fit her like a glove. It had a train, which I gotta think, charity fundraiser with the train, that's tricky to pull off, right?
In
Am I
small
right?
spaces, and again, the bookstore, probably the floor hadn't been treated in a while, so she's just picking up bookstore debris, but that's okay. She looked amazing.
Yeah.
A vision.
A vision.
Yes.
But Will's inability to save the Starlight comes out pretty quickly, and Annie lets him have it. It is maybe the best oopsie doodle aftermath scene I've ever seen in one of these.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Followed by one heck of a father-daughter heart-to-heart, which that scene between her dad and her talking about everything, how she felt responsible for saving it, and dad was like, "No, this was not your job, not your responsibility. We love you, blah, blah, blah." Oh, it was good.
So good. So good.
Will's back to work, super bummed, and Annie, before all of this thing blew up, had apparently left him a present. He opens this present. Now, earlier on, remember, they had shared photographs from their school days. And he had said, "I didn't go to prom. I wasn't popular." She had assumed that he was the popular guy, but he wasn't. He was kind of larger, nerdy, not what you would typically think of when you would think popular kid in the late 90s or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, Annie's present to Will is this split photo frame, kind of the one that you can set up and it's two-sided. And the whole thing is that he had shared his high school picture, but she didn't share hers. She shared one from an earlier chapter of her life. But now she does. She shares a picture from high school. She's on one side, he's on the other side. And there's also this note that simply reads, "I'd have gone to prom with you." Water works.
Really?
Oh,
That got you.
heaving crying. It resonated. And you know what I want to know? Were these
Mm.
really pictures of them from their youth? Certainly it was her picture from her youth.
I thought it looked like it could be him
Did it
too.
look like
I
him
was
from
mad
his youth?
about that. I think it looked enough. It didn't look photoshopped.
It did not.
So either it was a completely different person or it was him. I gotta believe. And didn't they write this movie? I think.
They did.
I think they wrote the script. So I gotta believe it's genuine. I think I would be inclined to believe it was both of them for
Yeah.
reals.
Yeah. Anyway,
Because we do get sometimes, these movies will Photoshop like younger versions of the people, and it's like so bad.
so bad.
These looked like legitimate photos,
To me, they did too.
and that got you crying.
Got me crying big cry. Lyle, again,
Should we share high school photos of ourselves on our socials?
I like this idea.
Not that we're going to prom together. We're both happily married to other people, but
By other people.
just
Yeah.
funsies.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, Lyle tells him to fix it. Now, fix this with her. And then he's off to the Starlight to do just that, where he gets the business from one of the servers there. Will lays it all out. Just this public declaration about his whole change and the whole 9 yards. He is a big bad developer who is no longer big and bad. He gets it. And he hears it all. She's, tucked around a corner, presumably listening to the whole thing. And they officially reconcile. And then they kiss. And this is like a 10 out of 10 for me, Hallmark kiss in a movie. It was great.
They
Back at
understood
the
the
Starlight.
difference. That makes sense.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah. Back at the Starlight, it is the Christmas open house. Now, Will gets her a present. And I saw this one coming. I got to be honest. I saw it coming. Yeah. Gets her a key to her snow globe. So she puts it in and twists it. And the dancer in the snow globe is dancing again. And I am crying again. And we pan up at the Starlight Cafe. And we fade to black.
It's time for gold.
Okay, now that Josh has had time to dry his tears, we are gonna do our gold or coal segment. I gotta say, this would not have been the movie I would have predicted you crying this much in,
What?
if I had to guess. I mean, it's sweet, but anyways. All right, well, our gold or coal segments here, we're each gonna give 3 gifts if you're new to the podcast. If there's more gold, it's gonna be a platter of killer brisket this round from a food truck that did look tasty. If there's more coal, it's a broken snow globe that makes yeah, it's filled with your tears at this point, I think. It's just like you cried into the snow globe
Do it.
to make the dancer
Exactly.
dance. And if it's a tie, it's just a Merry Christmas, Josh. I'm coming to you first if you can speak words, please.
I can. I have let myself settle a few days, which I needed to. So,
Good, good.
first gift for me is gold. The script on this thing is A plus. It's so well written. It is so quippy. It is sentimental. It is funny at points. It really moves well. I think there's really not a
Mhm,
big lull anywhere. And I just thought it was one of those where every character kind of communicated a little bit differently, and it wasn't
mhm,
everyone talking the same kind of way, you know?
mhm.
And I really liked that every character kind of had their own voice, and you could tell they put a lot of work into it. So, gold for me for the script.
Mhm. To piggyback off that, I'm gonna give gold, there were some laugh out loud moments for real in this one. When they show up, they're gonna go to this big wig business guy's Christmas party. He's like, "It's a Christmas party, just dress Christmas casual." He shows up in, nicer than I would. She shows up in a pea coat looking hot, and then she takes the pea coat off, and it's like the tackiest of Christmas sweater, and Paul Campbell's face is like, "What have you done? What?" It wants nothing to do with her in this moment. It was so funny. I rewound it like 3 times, and then to find out that, like, the big businessman is like, "I love it. Oh, my wife, look at this sweater. She's so zany," and, like, it turned it around. Also, I loved at the end, Paul Campbell shows up in a coat or jacket, I don't remember, and then reveals his tacky Christmas sweater. So another callback there. I loved it. It made me laugh. Gold.
Gold. I will continue with gold. Usually, when there's a big bad developer plot line, I'm pretty skeptical. But I thought that this one actually really worked well. And
Mm,
here's why. He is someone that you can cheer for, right? Because you can see the transformation happening because of her. The romance is really what sort of propelled him to not be so big and so bad, but still be a developer, right?
mhm.
And I thought that was great. And it started with this kind of curiosity and that kind of tension between the two of them. And he was just so enamored with the way she was carrying herself and going through life. And I thought that that was a really good way of doing it. So it's a BBD plot line that I think actually really works well. So gold.
Yes. Similarly-ish, I will give some gold. I love that they made Kimberly Sustad's character still a very smart, competent lawyer, because a lot of times the, Christmas loving gal who's dancing around with her dog and, like, that's kind of all she is, and Kimberly Sustad's character was way more than that. And I think that is how um, he saw that in her and she gained his respect because she's not just like zany girl who doesn't have a steady job or anything. She's again very competent, very successful, very worthwhile, but also loves Christmas and has a soft, compassionate side as well. So I think he saw that that was an option. Because I would assume if you grow up with a big bad developer dad, as this dad was portrayed, and a lot of times they are portrayed to be very cold, very stone faced, and you don't get to do both. It's kind of it's black and white, and I think he got to see the gray area in her.
I agree. I agree. My last gift will be gold, 3 gold for me. And I thought that this whole key thing was going to be the big emotional moment for me, right? Because I saw that one coming. I
Mhm.
think the surprise of the gift with the 2 pictures was so surprising and so well done, and I think just spoke to what they were trying to do with their relationship, the way they wrote that and the way they built the story, you know? Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about the gesture. It was about being seen and being valued for who you really are, and I think that that is just such a great message to get in one of these, and I bought the romance and the relationship through and through, and they felt more than many of these like a couple I could cheer for.
Mhm. Again, similarly, gold. I enjoy their relationship so much, and it easily because they are close friends in real life, it easily could have been only friend zone vibes, like, with the banter, the silliness, friend, but they were able to take it to the next level with those long glancing looks, albeit during Silent Night, um, and kind of made you believe that they could be in love and they could find happiness together, and you wanted to cheer for them. So, yes, I agree. Gold.
Mm. So at the end of the day, and this is a great way to end up Christmas in July. 6
Mhm.
pieces of gold. I can see why this is one you watch every year, Jennifer, because I think it's going to be one that I come back to time and time again because it's just that good. It is heartwarming. It gives you all the feels, humor, the whole 9 yards.
Mhm. Yes, I love it so much, and even the oopsie doodles they don't stress me out, so it's just easy breezy for me. So,
Exactly.
love
Well,
it, love it, love it.
have you seen this one? If you have, we want to hear what you have to say about it. Feel free to leave us a comment or connect with us on our social media channels. You can find links to everything on our website at doyouwatchwhatIwatch.com.
That's right. So that, friends, is another episode in the books. We are closing the Christmas in July chapter. Special thanks to Nick Schwartz, as always, for our theme song, and thank you for listening.
Hey, next time, I've got a question. What do a road trip, small town Georgia, and two podcasters have in common? Hmm.
Well, guess what, guys? We are hitting the road to go to Christmas in July event in Dahlonega, Georgia. Dahlonega or bus. We should write it on our company van that we don't have. We don't. We'll be taking in all the sights, sounds, and may just have a surprise or two along the way. Stay tuned to our socials. We'll be updating there. One thing is for sure, we will have much to discuss. But until then,
May your days be merry and bright. We'll see you soon.